Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas, and welcome to Today y Mañana. I'm Alex. This is Xavier. This is Michael. This is Nick. This is Urpí.
Good morning.
Too early. Yeah.
And Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. So we're here.
I'm trying to figure out why is it that Nickolas brought his lumberjack shirt? I mean, are we doing something later?
It's a very Christmas.
Oh, is it? Oh,
it's got red.
It's
lumberjack.
got red on it.
But this isn't a lumberjack. I mean, it looks like he's a lumberjack. Look at him.
Maybe he is a lumberjack.
I'm
now.
pretty sure I have.
He's
worn
got the
this
beard.
for
He's got the shirt, and
well, the beard.
the hat. I don't know about, but
I'm almost positive I wore this for every Christmas episode.
Probably.
Oh, we're gonna have to look back.
Because I think I've worn it for every Christmas episode. And I was like, oh, that's why I'm wearing it. Is because I got to wear the same.
You wear it once a year. So what was I going to say?
Well, to be fair, it's flannel, so I actually do only wear it once or twice a year because I know it's too hot for me.
There you go. So we're here. We are live. It's our Christmas show. It is our final episode of Today y Mañana for the foreseeable future, for the time being, however you want to put it. We won't close off any unretirement. Well, we want to be like, those quarterbacks that it's
That's
like,
right.
I'm retired.
I'm retired, and
2 years later,
I'm
not
I was
retired.
almost going the same way. I was like, these movies now, they always do the legacy sequels, so in 20 years, you'll get it today.
Exactly. We'll be back.
And everyone will be like,
Wheeling Xavier, he'll be really old.
we have to get a new younger guy to replace Xavier.
I think you got, no, at least legacy, they always bring them back.
Yeah, Pascalino, we'll bring him instead. What do we?
It should be like you watch those movies with like Sylvester Stallone. Doesn't matter how old he gets.
It's like
he's
8 years old.
He's not like Sylvester Stallone. He has
What are you trying to
nothing
say?
in
What are you trying to
common.
say? All right, Cary Grant, okay? I mean, for
Cary
Pete's sakes, I
Grant.
understand. Clark Gable.
Exactly. So we are here in the I Love Seville Network set. We are presented by Emergent Financial Services. We are awesome partners with Matthias, you own Realty. We love Matthias.
Yeah, we saw him.
I miss him.
And so here we are. The time has come. This is a great day to grab your café con leche, sit down, watch some Today y Mañana. Watch us not drink café con leche, so you can have one. That's always been the premise of the show. We forego the café con leche so that you can enjoy.
I don't think it works that way. It's like the old Christmas story. Remember the kids your mother's like, remember, you have to eat your food because there's starving kids in Africa.
Yeah.
And then the voiceover there is, I never understood why me eating my food is going to make a starving kid in Africa full.
Oh, yeah, a Christmas story, yeah.
Christmas story, yeah.
The kid never understood it.
Yeah, exactly.
But somehow, in a mystical way, us not having the café con leche enables you.
But we're doing the show so that they could sit down
And watch it, exactly,
right.
and
Relax
enjoy the
and
café
enjoy
con
it,
leche.
that's right.
Exactly. So be sure to send us any questions, comments, thoughts. Dr. Elizabeth Urpí is watching. Maria Urpí is probably taking a nap or having fun.
Maybe
She's
not.
missing her
One or
daddy.
the
No,
other.
Urpí
She's
is
missing her daddy.
100% taking a nap right now. I knew
There you
that before
go.
we got on. He's going to miss the whole show, hopefully.
But maybe they'll watch, 20 years from now, they'll watch the highlights and they'll be like, what on earth was my father doing? Why was he in a Santa hat?
Why did they do that?
Why were they in a Santa hat around the table pretending
Well, no,
to be podcast
she'll like it when
hosts?
she's like 5, 6, or 7 years old, but then once she hits her teenager, she's like, Daddy, you were so dumb. Why you
so
wear that
embarrassing.
stupid
My
hat?
friends
So
found you
embarrassing."
on
But to be
YouTube.
fair, she doesn't have to watch the show to come to that conclusion.
No, that's true. That's true.
Oh, man.
See, this is why we don't bring him on.
That's right, exactly,
Every
yeah.
show. Like, who wants to deal with him for 1 hour a week? But,
1 hour.
yeah, we said we would start with any. So
Reminiscing.
throughout today, feel free to comment. We could be one of those open house things. You can comment on anything.
Anything, that's right.
It's at the Open Friday.
Open Fridays.
It's on a Thursday. Open Mic Friday, except it's a Thursday. They can comment and harass any questions. But we were going to open with remembering our first one.
It feels incredible how fast
It's
time
gone by.
has. Yeah,
5
time has gone by.
years.
5 years. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't feel like 5 years. But all I was thinking about was literally that first day where you and I mean, you come into my room and said, "Can you tell me again why we're doing this?" and we're driving and we get all
We're
this
like, how
traffic.
do we let Jerry
Yeah,
talk?
that's exactly. How did we do that? So Jerry's very good at convincing people to do things. I mean, he makes you feel like, you can do anything. And then you sit there and go, wait a minute, I never did that before. How does he know I can do it?
I developed the skills for this.
That's right.
But so we were like, why are we doing this? We're driving in. And remember, the first shows, everyone was by Skype.
Skype,
well, actually,
exactly.
no, one person was actually, God bless them, Sombreros, Lucrecia, Bernardo. I think they actually came in.
They
actually came in.
That's
but
right.
everyone else was like, the whole
Skype.
schedule was Skype.
Exactly.
Except Lucrecia and Bernardo were like, yeah, we'll come in. And so we're driving. Remember, we get onto Darth Road. and it's backed up because of, I don't know if it was an accident or something.
Did we ever find out?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I still to this
No
day,
clue.
and of all days, I'm driving, and I
know.
do not do well super stressed
Exactly.
while driving. So
I
we're
remember that
late.
very well.
This whole thing is backed up. Darth Road, you cannot get anywhere. And he's like, no, make a U-turn. But like the U-turn, not like a legal U-turn. Make the U-turn where like
Well,
you
it
peek
was
to see if
illegal,
anyone's coming.
but-
No, it's not a legal U-turn. You can't just make a U-turn on a yellow line on a
Let's
one-way
not. Maybe
road.
we shouldn't talk about past criminal behaviors. Or,
I know.
Yeah, the statute of limitations.
Hey,
is not
statute
up
of
to that.
limitations ends in
There's
3
these
weeks.
things called emergencies. You just make a
Yeah.
U-turn. What's
So
the
we
big
like.
deal?
So I'm like, quiet. Let me do it at my pace. Let me do it at my pace. And I made the U-turn, and we had to get to this studio by going all the way. We went to Free Union Road, all the way around to the Earlysville Hydraulic, and then we turned around there and we got to this place. The
Well,
whole
Mikey
long
and I
way.
were in the back, not saying a word because we knew that if we said anything,
we weren't there that day.
You were
You were in the
the
back
car.
seat. Yeah, you're in the back seat. We're all
Yeah,
going
you
together.
remember?
No, we didn't go to the first
Yes.
show.
Yes.
No, you didn't come to the show, but we dropped you off at work.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were
that's
in that
why
car.
we were so
Like,
nervous,
we're
'cause
like,
we
let's
never
not
got
say anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna make it worse.
That's it.
Like, just let the supposed co-hosts who the first day are fighting in the car about whether or not to make a U-turn. Let's just leave that be. It'll resolve itself hopefully by the time we get there.
Exactly. Then we made it.
No, we made it.
We
yeah.
made it. We did the first
made it
show. We
before
had
you.
this time where you and I would share the earbuds. We each had one earpiece.
But what it was, I think it was me. I couldn't hear the first
couldn't
show,
hear-
right?
oh, the first show you didn't hear.
So you had to tell me, just
they were
answer
saying.
the question. So
And-
then I have to. It was that
And
was
then,
hard.
And
I
then
have to
remember, the
admit.
first half was all Spanish.
No, the second.
Oh, the second half was all Spanish.
Yes, yeah.
Completely in Spanish. We hadn't yet figured out the bilingual
That's right.
shtick, so the viewership was probably like.
No, that's what would happen is that like you'd get this
What?
weird
Hannah,
like,
6 out of 8
drop,
fucking
and
Spanish.
then I
Yeah.
watched the numbers, and it would be like the first half there'd be retention, and then the second half the retention was gone, and then it would like come
But
up.
then it would
and
spike again, but
Yeah,
all the
because-
Latinos would be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they hear it, and they're like, "Oh, wow,
it's
you're
Spanish."
yeah, it's Spanish. I recognize that."
And then then we finished the show, right? And Jerry, God bless him, he
I know,
comes
really.
over, he goes, "That was great,
Great.
guys.
Yeah,
it
you
was
guys are so
fantastic.
good. You're
But
naturals."
here's your naturals.
Yeah.
But here's some stuff you need to work on."
For the future, here's some thoughts.
Well, I'm not- then the opening and closing needs to develop. We did fix that.
It's
man. All of a
true.
sudden,
But
there's
the
fire
funny
here.
thing is, I walked out and I said, you realize that Jerry just he boosts your ego and then he tells you everything you did wrong and you still feel good.
But it's the best way to do
I said,
it.
no,
Because
absolutely.
we didn't feel bad. We were like, okay, that's not so bad. I just have to do this.
and
this.
I gotta change everything. But
And then once we do that,
He's a master chef at the compliment sandwich. It's like, right? Yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah.
So so we did.
Yeah.
Little by little, the intro got smoother.
how long did it take you to feel comfortable? Well, you sat there and
4
like,
years.
Yeah, about 4.5 years.
no. For Alex, I know. So for you, who knows? But
To be honest, I would say the nice thing is it jumped the comfort level as soon as Stipe was over.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because Stipe was because the issue with the Stipe was, right?
There's a
we
delay.
shared the earpiece, there's a delay.
Yeah.
Right? So I couldn't like kind of interject if someone was going long or like see if they didn't answer. And the brilliant stuff is you never knew they were going to show up until like they had the Stipe connection. Like you would dial them on Stipe
yeah.
and you were like, pick up this Stipe call, or else I'm just sitting here. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. We weren't
Well,
comfortable
that's
yet
what
on
I'm
the
saying. You weren't
BS
comfortable.
thing.
I mean, if it was today, you'd be like, we got no one on the
All
show.
right, they
We
didn't show
got
up.
it for
Okay,
an
no
hour.
problem. Yeah, we weren't yet comfortable with like just
Yeah.
Yeah.
winging it
exactly.
on the finance topic.
Yeah.
But as soon as everybody was kind of in person, it was like, all right, yeah. Because now you just feel like they're there. By then we were in the swing of things. We had probably done a finance topic or two. So we were like, okay, yeah, I know how to just wing it. Asked Xavier about the Fed, and we have, 30 minutes worth of content. So
Complaints.
especially at that time.
Yeah,
Remember,
that's right. Yes.
that time we had basically from 2021 until 2 months ago, we always had complaints about the Fed. They were too slow to do this. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done this. And to be fair,
to be fair, you were
we were
always
right
right.
every time.
Yeah,
we were right every
Well, it's
time.
been like that for the last 20 years. Let's
Yeah,
be
it's
honest.
true.
It just happened to be
That's
that
true.
we were on the show before.
We should know better. For the record, we were like, yeah, they're not raising rates fast enough. They're going to cause inflation.
Inflation,
Right?
magic.
And then for the past 2 years, why aren't they lowering rates? And finally, when Powell's like, "Here we realized that tariffs is like a one-time increase in prices. It's not like permanent ongoing
Increases,
inflation."
yeah.
And he and I are like, I kind of knew that from 101. So for the retro, we were always right.
Yeah, you were always
We
right.
can say that now because there will be no more future predictions. So we were always right.
That's true, right?
Exactly.
We don't have to make any future predictions now.
But
But
that
yeah,
was
then
good.
after that, it just became a lot easier, and especially when people would come and either bring cookies or food or wine or liquor, that was really fun,
Yeah.
right? Because you got the ability to taste it, talk about it, and the nice thing is most of the time you could tell that the guests were somewhat nervous at first, but within like 2-3 minutes, boom. Especially some of them, it's like, boom.
Remember the one guest, Tom mentioned that she needed, I won't say her name because I don't know if we said on air that she needed it. But she was so nervous. And so Jerry had like and he's like, "Would you like a little, I think it was like a Vitae Spirits rum or something."
No, she had bourbon.
Oh, bourbon. The bourbon.
It was straight bourbon.
And she took the bourbon.
I know, yeah.
And then, "Let's do this." And then she was
did
good.
great.
She did great. Yeah, it worked. It worked. That was, oh my goodness, that was fun.
That was fun.
And
That
then,
really was.
yeah.
No, we had some good shows where people would come on
yeah.
and they were very passionate about what they did,
Yeah.
which always made it exciting.
Exactly.
That they
Yeah.
come and like share like whatever they baked or something, like the liquor, like you said. It's like, oh look, we make
Ian,
new drinks.
Vitae Spirits, one of
He
our
was our
first
first
partners.
He was our first sponsor.
Was he our first sponsor?
He was our first sponsor.
He was our
yeah.
first sponsor. Man, yeah, every time
Yeah.
he
was
had
great.
something great that he would like surprise us. Because he would then do remember when Christmas time would come, he would pull out the pine tree flavored.
Yeah, exactly.
That you were like, what the heck? This is good,
Yeah.
and it actually tastes
Like pine.
like
Like
Christmas
pine.
trees.
Yes,
I mean,
it
I don't know
does,
how
yeah.
you
I
did this.
still have that in the
You still
back.
have
I
it in your
some
pantry?
in the back of my
Cabinet there.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
need to go
had
get
that
some.
the maple cream.
The maple cream.
liquor.
That didn't last long in our household.
Yeah, that was gone
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was good. Yeah, he had
was pretty
fantastic
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
But
That would certainly get us going, drinking at 10, 15, 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we
During the show.
definitely had to run the "It's 5 o'clock somewhere"
Exactly.
shtick.
yeah, but Michael was right. That one of the things that I really liked was when you just see the passion in the
people had,
right?
yeah.
And the other thing was like it never occurred to me how many small businesses there are in this area that are trying, are just starting, or they've been going on it for a couple of years, and their products, how they came about it, the stories. It was amazing. I mean, it got to the point where it's like I enjoyed the Thursday mornings when we had somebody on because I learned so much. And it's like I didn't even know that business existed.
Exactly.
Right? It's like I
Who found that business, though? You got to give credit to somebody.
Who? I don't know.
I don't
Nick found a lot of
CMO.
CMO found a lot of those people. He was the world's greatest Facebook stalker. Facebook, Instagram.
Well, it's funny how it got for a while. It got easier because Facebook would just send you people.
Yeah.
It would just recommend like this new business because it was like, okay, if you're
This
looking for
person
business in
knew that
Charlottesville,
one.
Oh, so
this
you
will
didn't
pop up.
work
This
very
will-
hard, in other words.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
here we are thinking
I
all this
would
hard
love
work.
when-
To be fair, just so everyone knows, like out of every like 7 to 10 emails or messages you send, you get like one response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like to fill up the shows was like a lot of emails managing, and then not to mention some businesses don't have emails. They only do Facebook. Some only do Instagram. So you have to check every single one every day to make sure you're not missing someone.
Right.
So it was
It's
a lot of
work. It's a lot of work that
communication.
goes on behind the scenes
Yeah,
to make
it was a lot of coordination,
to make it happen.
which is not everyone's strong suit.
Yeah.
Meaning?
Yeah,
Meaning?
it's just that
Meaning no-
some shows went empty when they weren't supposed to be.
Or every once in a while we would walk in, and God bless Judah too. We would walk
Yes.
in, and I would look and see like 3 people, and I'm saying to myself, "There's only supposed to be 2 people." And Judah and I would kind of like look at each
There's so
other
many
like
times I'm
something's off here, and we're really hoping one of these groups is like marketing. The other people are like, "You marketing?" Like, no, we're with so and so, and Judah and I are probably both in our heads like, "Nick, you didn't tell us about somebody." But he would usually be with someone like never got back.
Yeah.
exactly.
Right? They never responded.
They
So
just
Nick
show
said,
up.
I guess they're not coming. And they'd be like, yeah, I just showed up. But we would just like work it.
So
Judah
many
would like
times,
quickly like
so many
add the
times.
third person. And they would be like, oh, I don't know. Do you want us to come back another time? And I'm like, no, we got this. We'll figure it out. I'm looking up there while Judah's adding them to
You're trying to look up questions.
I'm looking up their website, like what they do. What are the questions, right? And
We've had it a couple times too where like they've had this obscure name, and remember we go in and we're like, what the heck do these people do? I don't know what they do.
What did they do?
You know, but you have to pretend it's like, oh, so what about your business?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But there were sometimes, I mean, we've had people that did really interesting things that you're like, I didn't even know
This was a job.
this was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, some things is like, wow, who came up with this? Who, you know, I didn't know this would even a business here.
Yeah. That we had so many. There was, I remember one of the ones always is, remember the high school woodworking kid?
Yeah.
I forget his name. Poor guy. Seth. That he came in and basically he fell in love with woodworking. He bought the super wood engraving machine and he made all the little laminal things for all the laminal holders for all the healthcare workers that you need your card to get in. And he would make these little wood things. You would stretch it, ding, to your card, and then it would be attached to you.
Wow.
And he had the whole thing, making all those things, and he would design them with whatever you wanted and engrave them with this like high-tech wood engraving machine.
Yeah.
That you would like, I never thought that would be a thing.
Yeah.
And but there he was on the show.
And there you are about, you know, here's a young kid from high school, and he realizes what he likes to do. All of a sudden, he found a passion that he loves.
Yeah.
You know?
And an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Crazy, yeah.
And that's the key, entrepreneurship, right? I mean, there's just so many
Some of the
people
young
out
people
there.
that were coming on the show and like they were starting these businesses really like that or straight out of high school.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun because especially at that age, you're talking about the passion, but there's also the energy of being youthful. That's just you just sort of like, man, I just want them to do well. Like I just it's not that you don't want, you want everyone, of course we want every business to thrive, but like in particular you see somebody that's full of youthful enthusiasm
you're like,
and energy.
Please let
you're
this
like,
work.
Yeah, you just want it to work for them because you're like they have such a vision at that age, and you're just sort of like, man, I remember the things I wanted to do at that age, and none of them happened. Go ahead,
Lego Master Building.
I didn't realize
never
I
made
needed
it on the
Well,
show.
to be fair, I never knew I needed an engineering degree to be a Lego master, so couldn't do it.
That one.
Wait a minute, so you tell me that if you created a Lego set and you weren't an engineer, they wouldn't take it from you?
Well, to be fair,
No, he
remember,
means that to actually
to work for Lego.
No, I'm saying, to work for Lego.
To work for Lego,
Yeah.
like in Denmark and all that,
Okay.
you need to have an engineer. Like I think they're all
A
engineers.
lot of them have a lot of engineers.
Yeah, they're all engineers. But to upload Lego
Oh,
has
yeah,
a
you
thing
can
called
upload,
Lego
yeah.
Ideas. I
then
guess
you
if
can get
anyone's not
lucky.
aware, and we're doing the Lego episode at long last. Finally, we finally got to the topic that we all love. You can submit to a website called Lego Ideas. You can upload using there's a program called Studio 2, and you can design Legos. It was created by a fan. Like this whole thing was created by a fan. You can design a Lego, upload it to the website. If it gets 10,000 votes, the Lego staff will review it, and if they approve your idea, you get a portion of the sale proceeds.
You actually
for
can.
those.
Wow. Yeah.
And so like, there's been a lot of even like Christmas related ones. Like there was a Home Alone set. There was, do you remember?
I can't remember all
the
ones.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's like all these sets is like these were created by fans. Like it was like, okay, we're gonna prove this idea. I assumed that they had to go buy the IPs and all that stuff, but like then the creator actually would get a portion of the proceeds. And
Nick was
10
talking
versions
about like
of
the
the
kid
set.
idea that
Yeah.
you worked for them permanently.
Yeah,
I mean, to be
okay.
fair, that was Mikey's joke. Was that I was going
Yeah.
to.
That probably wouldn't have
Lego.
been your probably first choice anyway, to be honest.
I never
Probably
thought
been
of that. I never thought of it as something that I could have done. But like to
Yeah,
be fair, that would have been enjoyable. Just like
Cool job.
coming up with sets, especially since now they've come up with more adult Lego themed stuff. You're just like
Roman,
the modulars.
Roman this, Roman that. ancient
Well, I
Greek.
would have been like
Roman
trying to get that
I
all
would have been
done.
like, why don't you do something different? Okay. But ancient Greek.
Ancient Greece, like then there's like the Beethoven set, the Opera House,
Oh,
Opera
speaking
House
of
set you a bit.
all the music people we've had on.
Yeah.
You were always here with music.
Yes.
That's when we knew Nick would come on and be like, "Oh, Charlottesville Opera's on. Oh, Nick's on
to be
today."
fair, I do. Part of that was that I knew the questions to ask too.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
like you know what
Sometimes you didn't get to ask those questions. So.
Well, with that time I was with Maestro
Michael
Ben
and-
and Michael Sloan, and Xavier was with me, and all he did was interrupt my question to ask his questions. And I was
But they
like,
were
I got
good.
these
My,
real
my questions were good, and they
They
loved
loved
those
your
questions.
questions,
There
and
you
I
are.
still
There
to
you
this
go.
day don't know why your questions.
You wanted to ask
my
questions like every
No, I think Michael Saul used to appreciate Nick's questions because he would get really excited because Nicky would ask something that's very musical oriented. That
Yes.
you'd never. I'm sure nobody asked him those questions.
Oh,
You
exactly.
know, I asked generic questions like, "Oh, well, what's special about this piece?" Or whatever, stupid crap like that. And Nick would be like, "Oh, Bach, when he was making this, he was doing some sort of Michael Saul would be like, "Oh."
Yeah.
So
I actually did start music.
yeah.
Well, right, but that's part of it. Is that there was whenever one of us knew about something, it was better to have them on the show because they knew the questions to ask. The nice thing about Xavier is that he never knows. He's like the
I don't know
average
anything.
man.
Yeah,
he doesn't
just
know
ask.
anything, so we asked the average man's questions. But I thought that
The everyman.
The
I think you
everyman.
mean the everyman.
the everyman, the average man. What's the difference?
Well, I think that's the term. It's
Okay,
like the
well,
Yeah,
everyman.
really. Yeah. I like every man better than
Average.
You're
Yeah,
more
he's,
like the
he's
bull.
above
Oh,
average. He's just
I thought it was.
different.
Wait a minute. Jerry told me the first day that was really. I mean, now you're telling me I'm average, and Jerry's telling me I'm good. Which one is it?
Affable. Affable.
Matthias is tuning in saying, "So good to see you all on the show together, doing the Urpí family Christmas episode. We missed you, Matthias. We're glad
miss
you were
you,
able to.
Matthias.
Yeah.
It was so good to see him last week. At least he got a chance to do one more show.
Yep. No, we loved
For now.
we loved the monthly meetup. Yeah, for now.
For now.
For now. But we loved the monthly meetup.
Yeah, so calm. I mean, he's got that calming voice, right? And
Yeah, I know. I just talked with Matthias for 3 hours.
Although the funny thing
fill the
is that
podcast.
after his first episode, when he was sponsoring, he asked me how he did. He was very quiet. So I was very honest with him. I said, "You need to be a little more Italian and get it up." Yeah, he does love Italy, so that's why the joke works. I'm like, he's got to be a little bit more Italian. He's got to get it up a little. The German is great, but it's got to come up a little bit.
those are always great.
You got to be yourself, but
Yeah.
you got to come in, let it come out a little
But you know
bit.
what's funny too? Just how things have changed, right? When Matthias first started, he had no kids. You were not. Were you married? You probably were married.
No,
By the
it was,
time
well,
Matthias
not what we
started.
I was a few
by
months.
the time Matthias started.
Yeah.
By the time Matthias started.
Oh, by the
were you
time
married?
Matthias started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but when Matthias started, I don't think I was married yet.
Yeah.
And now I'm married with a kid. Matthias has 2 beautiful baby girls, and you were married with a baby boy. So it's like the transformation in the time. And Michael's still Michael.
Yeah. Thank you,
Xavier-
Jack.
Never
And
changed.
Xavier's gotten older.
barely.
Barely.
The hat makes me look old. That's what it is.
Yeah, it makes
Actually,
me-
the hat's hiding and no one can see the difference. But you want to do the before and after. You don't want to take a look at the first picture you take on the shot. You're like, oh wait.
Oh, but yeah, no, some good ones.
What did you guys think when sometimes you'd have to eat on the show? Because I used to love it and hate it at the same time. I used to love when bakery would come or you'd have a place that did little meals because then they'd bring the stuff. But I hated eating on camera because I
Oh, you
always
were worried about
because I was worried that it's you dip something and something dripping.
So you're
You got
messy.
something dripping and everyone could see it.
I never really thought about that. Yeah, I would just
To be fair,
is this good? This
it
is
was
delicious.
easier
Yeah.
for me because I would let Alex talk, and I would just finish eating what I was eating, and then ask whatever question I wanted to
Yeah.
ask. So, the time we had the pizza guy that brought the pizza, remember?
Yeah.
Sam came with the opera the same day as the opera.
Yes, yes.
He brought 2 pizzas. I would just literally when he was passing out the pizza, I sat there, ate the whole slice while Alex talked, and then was able to be like,
Yeah, I was
"This
the
is
unlucky one
great.
that
This
couldn't
is,
eat
yeah."
all the time.
You
yeah,
had to
especially
keep
when I
the
was
show
hosting.
going.
What happens is I would have to take a small bite while someone else did. Because I'm like, I can't have my mouth full of food
And talk at
when
the
the
same
time
time.
comes to
Yeah.
ask that question, and you don't want the awkward pause where. You ask the question, they answer, everybody looks at me, and I have my food in my mouth.
Giant cinnamon roll, and he's just like, ah.
We had some
Luckily,
good-
we didn't have anybody who brought something that physically couldn't fit. Because that's always because you know how sometimes Ivy Provisions they'll make their sandwiches so big
Yes,
they have to
those are hard. Yeah.
Oh,
be managed.
It was rare. I mean, a couple of
Yeah.
times that happened. Once I remember once it happened to us where it was one of those kind of luncheon meals where it was cheesy and stuff like that. And I'm looking at it, I said, that's kind of messy,
Messy.
man.
Yeah.
This is not going to be easy, right? But
But we've had some good stuff.
But it's always
Thankfully,
easy to do wine.
everyone who brought stuff was always delicious.
No, it was.
I never found myself having to eat something.
Yes,
and be like,
I never had to fake it.
delicious, right? It's like where it's like you eat something.
That was to say. First off, we like everything in general, but
But it would have been possible. It's possible someone could have brought a bakery good that was like,
Yeah.
oh man,
No,
this
no,
is just
yeah.
not. This is just not
Exactly.
good.
Yeah, it's not
Right,
good.
and you have to like pretend.
Yeah.
You know,
Because the problem is you can't hide disgust when you eat something.
Yeah.
You could say it's delicious, but you could tell by someone's image, you're like,
No, it's delicious.
Like
No, but
Marie.
that definitely that never happened. It
Like
was actually,
Marie.
yeah. Like my daughter, you put I'll have some more though.
I think my son is just a bottomless pit.
Yeah, I know,
Just
right?
anything you just give him, he just eats it.
Yeah, but thankfully that never happened.
No.
Actually, everyone we had on actually was delicious. Even if we liked it, because we didn't vet them. It's not like we went and tasted their stuff, made sure it was good, and then brought them on the show. Like sometimes it was like, I have no clue if this pastry is going to be good or not. And you're like, oh, it is good. You know?
and those are probably Judah's favorite shows because then afterwards we'd be like, go ahead, Judah. Thanks
Have
for something.
some.
Judah
Some
probably
crumbs
appreciate-
left over. You want
The drinks is what Judah appreciate after having to deal with
We
us
always
for
pour-
an hour a
we
week.
pour
And
a
be like,
little
oh,
something.
everyone smiles like, here, have a glass of wine.
Yeah. Well, we've had some beer people come on. Remember they brought all these cans of
Yeah.
beers. No, there was like a spicy one. Remember? Do you
Oh,
remember?
yeah. Yes.
Was it-
Who was that? Was that?
Carbonara?
Southern
No,
Revere?
it was Southern Revere.
Yes.
Southern Revere. That they had, that spicy Mexican beer thing.
Yes.
That you would, but I mean,
like
they made the beer
jalapeno
and
in
then
it or something?
they put the other, remember the little powder or something
Yeah.
that you mix it. Yeah.
They made it spicy.
It
like
was the
a spicy
weirdest
beer.
thing, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like a Mexican Bloody Mary mix.
Yes,
Kind of
that's-
tomato-y.
Yeah.
Right? And we sat there and
remember
like, I have no clue if this is going to be
Yeah,
good.
they're serving this up, and I'm
I've
like,
never had like
please
a
be good.
tomato spicy jalapeno beer. And then you taste it and you're like, this is good.
Yeah.
They made very good beers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Southern Revere, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like the closest I've gotten to American beer that one of them actually tastes like it was made like a European beer. Their Belgian one
Yeah.
was really good.
Well, because a lot of times beers here are a little hoppy, and
Yes.
the after bite, we're not really crazy about that.
Yeah. They
It's funny because I always wanted Random Row to come on the show because I love their beer. Because they have one that's...
Yeah, we did. What happened? We just never.
And
timed
just
it
never
out.
clicked, yeah. But it was
Yeah.
one of those things that they have a beer that's like a 12, like it's like a 14% beer.
Oh,
or
yeah, the
something
super dark
That
one.
is super dark. They serve it in a
Yeah.
cognac glass. Is like the closest
Wow.
thing the beer comes
Cognac
to wine,
glasses.
and it's a stout. Like it's just dark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this was made for me. This is a beer that is more to my taste.
Right,
I'm
right,
not
right.
a huge
It's a
beer
lumberjack
person.
beer.
So yeah, well, not a lumberjack beer. It's more like it's a beer for people who like to drink wine. It's really what it is. I was like, this is great. You know.
Oh, cognac. I mean, that's basically if it's in a cognac
It
glass.
was in a cognac glass. It was
Yeah,
great too because you could just hold it. And
Nothing like a lumberjack holding a
Holding
cognac.
a cognac.
full of beer. That works out so great, right?
That was good. Yeah, no, they had some good stuff.
There were moments. I remember once I was on the show with Michael, and he's got all the questions, right? And he asked the lady the first question, and she goes through for about 5-10
and he
minutes.
answers all of them.
And answers all of them. He's looking at me like, well, that covers all the questions.
Yeah,
It's like,
we didn't have many questions for that day. I don't remember what the
you know, like
lady
4
did.
questions,
an
but she
event.
answered them all in the
It
first
was an
question.
event.
It's like,
It was
okay,
an event for it.
Here we go.
It was an event for It's Art Park.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yes, yeah. 'Cause I remember I was watching.
Yeah.
You guys, I had you on the thing while I forget if I was sick or if I had something at work that I
Yeah.
had to do. But I would listen, and I knew it. The moment she runs through the whole day, she went like the who, what, where, when, why, everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it. Only 3 minutes of this interview is elapsed. Like, what are they going to do for the next?
You know,
Yeah.
it is.
That seat's always tough too because then I basically I'd be having to stare at Pops. It's like, please have a question.
Please
staring
have
at
a
me.
question,
It's like, someone, one of us, come on. Because your brain's starting to rack up. What do I ask? What do I ask? What do I ask? I'm like, please. Alex is always so good at it. I always know he's got a question up his sleeve.
Yeah,
like
I
it
always
doesn't
try to,
matter
like-
what it is. He can find a good question to ask versus me and Pops. I'm like, please, Pops, have something to ask. Which is why we're doing the show with Nicky every once in a while. I was like, man, I gotta have the questions because I know if I sit there, him and I just kind of stare.
That's absolutely true. I remember I did this this solo show once with Greer Kelly. Was amazing.
Oh, from Friends of Seville.
Yeah, and we had a really good conversation for about 45 minutes of it, but I should have ended it there because then I realized that I had nothing, and I sat there trying to think. I'm like, I got a question. How do I put this? It's going to take me 5 minutes to think of how to phrase it. Yeah. And then poor Greer was just like waiting on the edge of her seat, like, what's he going to say, And then I threw her a question that she was completely unprepared for because it just came to me in the moment. And she was a great guest.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things, you can't do that, You can't ask this very difficult question.
Xavier always asks questions that people are totally unprepared for. Yeah. I run them. That's what every time we would do the intro, just like before the show, I was at talk to each guest, give them an idea what we're going to talk about, right? And so I'll be like, we're going to talk about, if it's okay with you, how you got started, what you do, right? And then I'll just turn and say, and Xavier is going to ask questions that, are not prepared. So just be prepared.
Be prepared for the
Well, it's only because as the conversation goes, something pops in your head, so you ask the question.
And that was one of my favorite moments when we had Virginia Distillery on, and you asked her what's single malt, because she was talking about single malt, and I was like, thank God you asked, because I didn't know what single malt. But I was like, all of a sudden I was like, I actually don't know what that means, what a single malt is. But it's great because there are people out there who have no clue what a single malt is.
90% of people probably don't know what a single malt is.
Well, I wouldn't say 90%.
The difference is half of us pretended.
Well, whiskey.
Oh, wow, this is single malt.
What happens is, remember, there are questions you don't want to ask because you don't want to sound. You feel like if I ask him, I'm going to sound dumb. Like I don't know anything. But Xavier doesn't have to worry about that. Xavier doesn't worry about that. He just asks the question.
Yeah, I don't worry about that.
See,
once you hit,
and then once you ask it, you're like, I knew that.
Once you hit a certain age, it doesn't matter. It's like when I was young, I was the same thing. I'm not asking that question because if somebody's going to say, "What are you stupid?" Right? But now it's like, what do I care what they think of me? I don't know. I want to ask.
What it is? Yeah,
you're just a nice old man.
That's all. Yeah, just a nice old man.
See,
with memory
what I would do is I would phrase it like I know for those who don't know what is single malt, and for those who don't know includes me, doesn't make a difference. But you have to phrase it that way. For those who don't know, could you explain more about this? And it turns out you are the one who doesn't know.
They had good stuff too. We had some story.
That was good. That was good.
You bought me this cider cask one.
I think I did
for my birthday last year
or something.
It's gone now, but that was very.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about our
stuff.
Area. The distilleries are really, really good. I mean, the breweries and distilleries, they're amazing.
They really
are. I mean, the Ragged Ranch is always, there's just so many of these distilleries that, I taste them. It's like, stuff's good.
It's really good.
Our uncle is a big bourbon whiskey person, and he still tells us that like what he can get in New York is not like
it's not as good.
It's not like he gets stuff here.
Not as good for the price, stuff
as that he can get here. And so like he loves when he comes to visit. We're always just like, all right, let's find.
Especially if there's a sale on ABC, he just buys a box full. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like. I said to him, it's not wine, He goes, we just have one every day. It's okay.
We've been lucky. We've been lucky. Yeah. Hey,
I mean, to be fair, this is historical. That we got to throw in at least one fact. Historically speaking, we are big bourbon country. George Washington, the man himself, the first president, ran the biggest distillery in the country for a number of years. Mount Vernon was the biggest one.
I did not know that.
For years until it ended up changing hands, and then they didn't keep the distillery running.
So American. But who was the first leader of your country? Yeah, he had a farm. He also the biggest distillery in the country. Said the first American president would be the man who had the biggest distillery.
And he was convinced by his foreman, who was Scottish. Yeah. Who was like, let me buy the still. I'll get one in average size. He didn't get an average size. He got the biggest one he could, and they made as much as possible. Did you just tell me once it was the biggest in the world or something? It was the biggest in the country for a while, is what it was. It basically, so like George Washington didn't realize that and the reason the smart thing was it's a better product because he was growing wheat. But if wheat had a bad year, you can't sell the wheat. But if you're making whiskey, you can buy the wheat from everyone else, make the product, and continue to sell
Whiskey.
a reliably good.
Yeah.
He didn't age it, so it's not like whiskey
Right.
today was clear because he didn't age it in barrels, and all the color comes from the barrels.
Right.
But George Washington was like everyone was drinking Mount Vernon brand whiskey for tons of people around the country, and it was all from George Washington's thing. So I'm like, it's Virginia here that we had the biggest distillery, and it was with our first president, one of our own.
Well, maybe that's what made him such a good president.
Yeah, right. So, it's a point.
Who
It's
else
true. It's
knows?
good to know.
Well, that's what made him such a good president. And let's be honest. I mean, at the beginning, when you think about the people that ran this country, they weren't literally politicians, right?
No.
They were farmers or workers or whatever they may be,
Lawyers.
right? Today it's like they're all
They weren't.
Today
Well,
they're all politicians.
To be honest, I'm reading this James Madison biography. Trust me, the politics there was
Monroe,
just
you mean?
Monroe. Yeah, sorry. And it's so dirty.
Oh, they
you
did.
have no idea.
Oh, yeah,
It's-
no, they did.
There was real. In reality, they were just like our
Things have
True.
not changed that much.
Yeah,
True,
they
true,
really
but
haven't.
I
They
mean,
were all
the people,
lawyers
but the people themselves sometimes when their backgrounds, I mean, you get guys today that literally just they come in, they're House of
only ever
Representatives,
been
and
politicians,
all they ever
Yeah.
do for the rest of their life is be politicians. They say, "Well, I understand the working person." Well, how do you understand the working person if you never worked a day of your life, right? I mean, granted, I know that
Yeah.
they work,
Sure,
but
yeah.
from the perspective
But listen,
of
I'll give you an example from Monroe. I mean, basically, since the time of the end of the Revolution, he went from being minister. They sent him out to France. I forgot what you call that when you're like a diplomat.
diplomat, yeah.
Basically, he went to diplomat.
delegate.
Then he went back to the House of Representatives for the Virginia. Then they made him governor. Then he's going back to diplomat. This guy's like for like 30 years is just staying in the politics. So in the end, it happened even back then. Maybe different
Well,
jobs,
they were doing
but
this
it was.
sleazy stuff. I
To
mean,
be fair-
I'll never forget. I read the George Washington biography, and I realized that Thomas Jefferson, as the Secretary of State, hires a guy. So Thomas Jefferson is the Secretary for
Right.
George Washington. Hires a guy who has a fake job at the Secretariat of State, and whose real job, what Jefferson really wants to do, is to anonymously run a newspaper that just blasts the George Washington administration every day. So you imagine, like, poor George Washington, like, your own administration is paying a guy whose single job is not to actually work for your administration, but to write terrible articles about you and how terrible you are. And your own Secretary of State is doing it.
It was hilarious. They would basically go into their own newspapers, the Federalist or the Republicans, and basically go and write articles bashing, like, Monroe would write one bashing Hamilton, but he'd use like a surname, so it was never
pseudonym.
Monroe.
Yes.
What else? It's always like
I didn't write
Hamilton
that
would do the same thing. It's
my
like,
favorite
what
is that
the
they'd
heck?
always use like these ancient Roman names. Would be
Yes.
Titus, would
Publius,
from
yeah.
Publius would be writing some
so nothing's
dirt.
changed then.
No,
Not a lot
nothing's
happened.
changed.
But the only one thing I will say that has changed, the amount of time it actually took to get through certain schooling. Because now, like, who knows how long it takes to be a lawyer? And Patrick Henry became a lawyer in 6 weeks. Because he
Because let's
studied
say
enough to
there's
pass the
more
bar.
and more and more and more laws, right? I mean, it's like everything else.
I mean, Thomas Jefferson took 5 years
Yeah.
because he wanted to take more time. But the whole point is,
You could actually become
you
a
could
lawyer.
actually become a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be like, I could just take it 2-3 years, become a lawyer. Now there's so much that it's going to take you 8 years at the
But
very
the question is,
least.
was
if not
Patrick
more.
Henry a good lawyer?
He was an excellent lawyer. He's famous for being a lawyer. I mean, he's famous for like.
He wasn't very very lawyerly when he said, "Give me liberty or give me death."
But that is well. No, to be honest with you, wouldn't it be nice to have more lawyers that were like, I need to refrain from using this statement because they could take it too literally. So let's
Yeah.
add an addendum
Give my
saying that
client
when
liberty
I
or
say
kill him.
death, it is a symbolic reference. Like this is the issue with lawyers today, is that a lawyer wouldn't say that because he's like, well, that could actually cause problems. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to have to write an addendum.
I wouldn't want anyone to misconstrue my statement about death.
So let's make sure that we clarify what I mean by liberty and death.
And death.
And, that's Section A and Section B. Like, this is the problem today.
It
Right?
is, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you go through a contract, it's like a simple agreement, it's about 20 pages, and you go, man, it's just a lot of garbage in here.
Yeah, and you can't read it because the language is the way it's written.
Yeah.
And hereby this person, the participant, it's like, I don't understand who's who in this thing.
I don't think
Yes,
you're supposed
in
to.
order to clarify things that made it so complicated that it's impossible.
Yeah.
How did we get on this? See, this is
I
a
don't know.
classic
The Mount
Urpí.
Vernon. This is the Mount
Oh,
Vernon.
Mount Vernon
Mount
Distillery.
Vernon.
So this is
Yeah.
a classic Urpí conversation. We start at Mount Vernon and we end up with distilleries and we end up with lawyers.
You know, this is your last chance. Did you want to do like one little finance tip? I mean, you can make a prediction.
Tip?
But,
No.
well,
No, you
tons-
don't. No way.
Well, no, but you can make a prediction. Like, I think the market's going to go up 100% next year. And then this way, someoe's like, oh, Xavier says that, then you're never going to be shown again, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. Well, the market could go up 100%. I'm not going to say that.
Did I ever tell you quickly about, we were talking about like there's two trackers that are famous. There's the Nancy Pelosi Insider Trade and Tracker, right? And then there's the reverse Kramer, right? The Nancy Pelosi tracker is like the second biggest ever. In the, like it makes like 3 times what the stock market returns, but it still
Oh, it
loses
only ever buys what?
whatever Nancy Pelosi,
What Pelosi
buys.
does.
But it still cannot beat the reverse Kramer tracker, which is basically people buy whatever
Jim Cramer says to not buy.
yeah, whatever. It's the opposite of whatever he does. So if he says buy something,
Well, I guess they sell it short.
And
They
if he
sell it
says
short.
sell it, they buy.
No way.
Yes.
You mean it outperforms
outperforms
the
the
Nancy
Nancy
Pelosi
Insider
tracker?
tracker.
That's crazy.
Imagine, so basically not going
And
with
he's still
the
on,
trend.
isn't he? He's
Yeah.
still, he's like,
I'm pretty sure he's still
But
on.
this is why they're keeping him on, so that other people,
people
those
can make
guys
money off him.
are paying CNBC to keep him on, so that they can continue to make money off
Make
his
money
mistakes.
off
Like if
whatever.
Urpí was going off, and I was running that ETF or that what was it, that
Tracker.
fund, that tracker, I would immediately call
Well,
up
think about
CNBC and be like, I am donating money to keep him on the
It's
air.
true. Well, think about it. If you
Right?
had to die that you knew that you could make money by doing the opposite of anything you said, I would pay that guy to keep giving me advice because I knew that I would make money by just doing the opposite of whatever he
Yeah,
told me
it's
to
like
do.
a
But he's
conspiracy
usually,
theory.
I mean, he just yells and screams so much, right? That it's like, I remember his shows, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially, I mean, the Bear Stearns was the best one. This is a buy. This is the best time to buy. And it's like, I'm sitting there going, I don't know. I don't know about that. You know,
How long after that did Bear Stearns go under?
not long.
Yeah.
A few weeks,
A
I
few
think.
weeks.
Yeah.
It was a great time for something, but it wasn't to buy Bear Stearns.
No, but we should have had the Xavier tracker. Every week he's like, this is what you gotta buy. So
Well, to be fair, on bonds, the Xavier tracker would have done pretty well.
Interest rate.
On interest rates, yeah. If you had just done whatever Xavier said on interest rates.
Well, I remember one. So this is when I was still working at the previous firm, right?
Yeah.
And so I had an opinion, and I said rates are coming down. Everybody said rates were going up, and I said no, rates are going to come down for 6 months, right? And my own people say, you can't say that. I said, why not? She goes, everybody thinks rates are going up. I said, so what? I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
it's my opinion, and here's why, right? And because even like Gundlach and all these other
Yeah.
big bond guys, the PIMCO, the rates are going up. I said, no, this is why. So I recommended that they buy the long ETF, that 20 plus. the
Oh,
20
yeah,
plus
yeah.
year, right? I said, put that into your model. I said, you sure? Yeah, put it in the model. I said, well, we'll balance it out with some short stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we did. That thing went up like 25%, right? It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so one of their clients calls me up. He says, you really should be on TV because, things like that, you make you famous. I said, I don't want to be famous. Because that doesn't mean I'm going to be right on
Yeah.
But in the end, you ended up on TV and became famous.
You ended up on Facebook and YouTube, so you did end up on TV.
But it's just, it's just one of those things where you follow people, you look at people, and they have these opinions, and I'm sitting there going, do you realize if you go back in history, most people's like half of the time they're wrong?
Yeah.
Like PIMCO, PIMCO was like wrong for like 3 years in a row because they, before the crash, it's like they kept talking about, not the crash, but they're talking about issues, right?
Yeah.
But 3 years into it, I said, yeah, you got it right, but for 3 years you were absolutely wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So in other words, sooner or later, with interest rates, with bonds it's easy. Sooner or
Yeah.
later, you say interest rates are going up, they're going up, they're going up. 5 years later, I told you we're going up.
Yeah,
Didn't I tell you?
Well, that's the problem with stuff like that, right? If you're like, if every year the stock market's going to go down this year, and you say that the stock market's going to go down this year every year for 15 years, sooner or later, you're going to be right. So I was a genius. I did.
I
Yeah, but
told
you
you.
were wrong 10
Exactly.
times in a row.
That's the world we live in. That's why it's like I always tell people you got to read everything and make your own
Oh yeah,
opinion.
exactly.
Because it's
Because the 1 year he's right, he's going to do the billboards the next
Yeah,
year saying,
exactly.
"I was right last year. I was right." And people go, "Oh, I should buy his stuff because he was right last year." I said, "Well, where was his billboard?"
Bloomberg used to do that, right? Once a year. So Bloomberg at the beginning of the year, they'd talk to 100 economists, right, and get all their opinions on the stock market, the bond market, et cetera, right? And at the end of the year, they
publish who was right,
who was wrong, right? And it was incredible how it would flip every single year. These guys were bullish, that guy was bearish, this guy's always bearish, that guy was always bullish.
The problem is, I think people get, and somebody was writing about this. With the only issue with some economists and investors is that they are shaped by the first thing that they experience when they become fully invested or economists. So if you, for instance, they're basically saying, like, for instance, the Great Recession when 2008, anybody who started investing in that year or became an investor is going to be bearish for the rest of their life. And it's just something that it's a psychological thing. It's not something that they do on purpose. But like, if your first experience is you're an investor, you're working that, and then all of a sudden that happens, you're like, you are going to see doom and gloom on the horizon forever because that's your first experience in the market. And the opposite happens for people who experience bull runs. So the funny thing is sometimes it's just like it's a personality thing. You're not actually making sometimes you have to almost try to undo the logical, use logic to undo your own thinking, because you will see the bear in every market, if you're a bear. And
I mean, the bull's a little lucky because Larry
most
Tudlow,
of the time you're right.
I mean, Larry Tudlow always thinks he's doing great, but you know what the problem is? Like 9 times out of 10, they actually do great.
I mean, you're better off being bullish
than bearish.
Well,
because
that's
most of the
what
time
convinced me to be bullish, is because we started roughly within, not necessarily at the recession, but like, we started working roughly while it was still going on. Like, it was not, the economy wasn't great. But then I was like, wait a second. Most years, the market goes up.
Yeah.
So you're going to be right more often when you're less concerned about it. When you still should be, wary, right? That's a natural, but then it's good. But at the same time, if it goes up most of the time,
why would you always assume it's going down?
Yeah, why would you always assume it's going down? You need to do the opposite, because, no offense, the money you're going to make on it going up for 9 years is still going to be more than the money you'll make on it going down for one.
Yeah.
Unless a double leverage, which is in case you're just being extra risky anyway. Like if you borrow just to sell short, so it doesn't make more sense to be bearish. And I realized that it made more sense to be bullish. So you are better off acting like a bull than acting like a bear, despite the fact that Alex and I, our first experience was with basically a bear market.
Yeah. And it's interesting because there's kind of two schools, right? So when you're dealing with individuals, right, the most important thing is really not whether the market's going up, down. It's their particular specific needs, right?
Yeah.
What is it that they need? But on the institutional side, it really is very easy, because most institutions now, right, they hire you for being an expert in a particular field, right? In other words, small caps or biotech stocks or high yield or corporate bonds, and they don't want you to make bets. In other words, the asset allocator, the consultant, is making all the bets. He's saying, okay, I'm hiring you, I'm putting 10% in this sector. Do not go into cash. And they specifically say that.
Yeah.
I don't want you in cash. I don't want you making market decisions. I've already made that.
All you have to do
is beat that index, right?
Yeah.
And that's your only job.
So the index is down 20.
And they don't want you to beat it.
You can be down 18.
The point is, they don't want you to beat it saying, I'm going into cash, because they don't want you in cash. So you got to beat it basically doing the analysis that you can do, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
But in essence, from that perspective, as a portfolio manager, it's like you're sitting there. I don't care whether the market's going up and down. I'm looking for what is value in that particular sector, right? Yeah, it's interesting.
You could be down 30%, and if the index is down 32, they're like, you did a great job.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
Because I didn't hire you to avoid the minus 30. I hired you to be better than the market, which is 32.
Exactly, yeah. But Nick is right. When you think about it, there is
Could you repeat that?
A group of but there's a group of there's a group of people now in their probably 16 to 20-year-old, right, that never lived through a recession. I mean,
That's true.
2008 was the last recession, really, right, in the sense of that elongated recession, was a 2 or 3 year kind of down markets, right? We've had down markets, 1 year or another year, but so there's just a group of young professionals in Wall Street
don't know what that looks
have
like.
never ever experienced that kind of recession.
So we have Lucrecia Morales watching.
Oh, Lucrecia,
¿cómo está?
And Brighton Word comments, a broken clock is right twice a day when referring to investors who say the same thing over and over and eventually.
Yep, exactly.
It's true,
The problem is they only write sometimes once. Once is even better.
They're worse than a broken
To be fair, I wouldn't mind being wrong most of the time and only being right once if I made millions of dollars
that's if you,
off of it, right? I mean,
you'd have to leverage. But I mean, if you were leveraging every single year, you'd be broke.
No, but we've talked about there are guys but my point is that there are guys that are still millionaires because they got something right once. Yeah, exactly. Like he's only been right once. And the thing is, he only needed to be right once. Yeah. You just need to basically I made my big bet. I was right. I can make all the calls I want, but I'm not going all in on all my money ever again, right? I mean, Drunken Miller was the same thing. He had that huge thing with George Soros, but ever since, I mean, he still does really well. Like I think he averages 45%. So he still makes a good return, but he hasn't made $1 billion in one day like he did for Soros. Yeah. And the reason why is because he saw something, got it right, and made the money. And now he does he can play around, but let's face it, he's not putting 100% of all his wealth into his next big bets and every single bet. Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, at the same time, if you were going to be right about only one thing ever,
but you got to be right the first time. Because if you bet all of your money the first time and you're wrong, and that's the one you have to be wrong, then you have no money.
That's the thing. You only hear about the guys that were fortunate, right, or smart enough to do it right the first time, right? You never hear about.
Well, think about it. Let's say there was a guy that was totally wrong about the great financial crisis. He was wrong about the crash in 08-09. But he was absolutely right about what he thought was going to happen in 2011. Well, if he lost all his money in 08-09, as he was absolutely wrong, then he wasn't there to invest in 2011, so you'll never know that he was right.
I knew.
He would have made billions in 2011 if he still had money that he didn't lose in 2008.
He'd have to convince somebody to back him up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, wait a minute.
There's some guy jingling a coin on some street corner in New York. Yeah, and he's one of the Salvation Santas. I knew it was going to happen. He's ringing the bell, seeing the numbers on the Wall Street stuff, and he's like, I knew that was going to happen. I wasted all that money on that other idea.
Exactly.
Miguel Corradine says, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, Miguel.
And Buon Natale.
You got to leave.
Buon Natale. Oh.
Last thing I wanted to ask before we stop is, what are you because we always used to ask, what are we looking forward to for Christmas this year? So, what are you looking forward to?
Well, so I mean,
I've got mine.
He's a little more sad this Christmas.
Yeah. So obviously, it's not going to be the Christmas that. But I mean, so we're going to celebrate. So it's the season, right?
So we're going to celebrate for a whole season.
So obviously, celebrating Christmas now with two little ones is going to be a lot of fun. And and again, I was talking to Mommy about it, just the last few weeks, and I said, think about it. Yeah, they're still too young to really, understand what's happening. I said, but little by little, maybe at 1.5, 2.5.
Probably by next Christmas, they'll understand the excitement
a little bit more. Yeah, and it's just when they get to that point where it's like, Santa's coming and the trees and things like that, and also the presents under the tree and things like that. That's when it's really fun. I mean, that's where that enjoyment. That's it's funny how they say. When you have children, you relive your childhood through your children, which is absolutely true. I mean, I love taking you guys to Legoland, to all the places that
you went when you were a kid.
No, well, I never went to Legoland, right? All the things that you enjoyed, I saw through your eyes, through your actions, and it's just overwhelming, right? Now to do that with my grandchildren, I mean, it's going to be even better because you're paying for it.
Well, see, that's what I'm looking forward to. I know he's not going to know. He's only 8.5 months. He's not going to really know what's going on. But there is a certain. I will say one of the many nice things about my son is that he's very excited no matter what seems to be going on. So I'm just kind of curious to be what is he going to be we're going to be unwrapping stuff for him, and I know he's going to be excited despite the fact that he has no clue.
He's going to get most excited about all the wrapping paper. He could be look what you're doing on.
Mom loves tissue boxes.
Yeah. No,
she always wants to. I have all these toys, and she's like, "Oh, I want the tissue box."
And I'm fine.
And guess what? I got my niece and nephew. tissue boxes and boxes. I mean, why am I going to get toys for
But
it?
see, I'm fine with that. Like, I love the idea. Like, Elizabeth was just sort of like, she was cooking dinner one day, and he was in the kitchen, just on the floor. She just handed him a wooden spoon, and he just started playing with the wooden spoon. And I'm like, I'm totally happy that's fun. Like, I'm okay with him. Like, that's his toy for today. He's like figuring out. He's like flinging it, chewing on it, and banging it on the ground, and laughing and And I'm like, that's great. That's part of like he needs to learn about everything, not just his toys. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what is he going to fixate on? Because you know he's going to have a blast opening stuff.
To be honest, so just the other day when I went to your house and you had the Christmas tree and I was holding Pasqualino, right? And I went up to the Christmas tree and his eyes just look at all the lights
colors,
and the colors and stuff. And I could just see him looking. It's like, you know, I mean, what is all that stuff? It's like it's all there, and you know, and he's like, "Can I grab any of this?" And it's like, unfortunately,
well, we actually gave him
really.
a plastic ornament to play with while we did the tree.
Yeah,
and he would just hold on to it, and then he tried to chew it. But like, it was a plastic one, so it wasn't gonna break. But like again, we'd like be part. I don't mind that. Like, be part of it. You know, even yesterday, Elizabeth just gave him a lemon. It was just sort of like we had a lemon. He hadn't tried a lemon yet. Here's a lemon, and figure it out for yourself. And he was playing, rolling it around, and then he tried to eat, and he really liked the outside. So I said, let's cut it open and see what and she goes, no, let's not do that yet. We'll do it tomorrow or something like that. I was like, let's just see what he does. Because I like the inside of a lemon, so I'm like, he'll probably like it too.
No.
How about you
The first
guys?
time they taste sour.
Yeah, what about you guys? What are you looking forward to?
Oh, that's what I was looking forward to, is him opening stuff.
You just answered that. You
No,
know.
but the other.
Yeah, you too.
No, probably similarly to see her, put her in a cute little dress. Well, we also put her
You see,
in
that's
a
different.
Christmas
Yeah,
dress
you
with
did.
like little Christmas hat and see how she looks. That'll be take some pictures. That'll
Yeah,
probably be,
you're looking forward to going to Montana.
Having all the
well,
German food.
maybe not necessarily the cold, but
The trip is something
trip,
else.
You can go
Not the trip.
skiing,
Yeah, I remember
sledding. You can take Maria on her first
the
sled.
two plane
Your
rides aren't
mother-in-law though
exactly.
makes those like hearty German meals that are so
God
good.
bless her, she's been practicing the Glühwein, like the mulled
She's
wine.
been practicing.
Yeah, she told us the other day she's been practicing to make sure she gets it right.
Oh, that's so great.
So I'm sure there's gonna be mulled wine. Apparently, she's been practicing a lot of like German dishes she hasn't done before. I'm like, oh, okay.
So shit.
Maybe we should sneak
That's
on
why
that
we love
plane.
Monica. She had to practice making stuff.
I
and you're
know
like,
it's
yeah.
gonna be so. The food will be good.
So she's practicing. I mean, Jeff's having a great time. Then
He's probably having a great time too. Yeah.
keep practicing.
Yeah,
Don't
keep
worry about
practicing.
it.
He's like, I don't think you got it right. I think you have to do it again.
So the food will be good too.
We have just before we'll give Miguelone a minute to think. Well, Miguel Corradine had commented, we're looking forward to a free Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua.
There you are.
Same
That's
here.
a good one.
I like that.
I had the little flip thing. I do it.
Yeah, the little clapping. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
almost read that.
Cuba Libre. We'll drink the Cuba Libre one day for
Yes.
free Cuba.
Well, yeah. Well, we did that when Castro died.
We had a Cuba Libre.
Yeah, we celebrated.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Unfortunately, we had another cash.
That is another Castro.
That's okay. I will just be drinking a lot. Yeah.
They live forever, those Castros.
They really do. Yeah, they can outlive me probably.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope not.
What about you?
I'm looking forward to I don't know. It's
Nothing.
yeah. I'm looking forward to Christmas season end.
No.
But so when we all get back together and we get a chance to do it, what are you looking forward to?
I don't know.
The port, not even the port.
Yeah, I mean, I always enjoy the cookies and everything.
Yeah, the cookies, the port. Yeah, the port will be good.
So there's just nothing specific. Just like
Yeah, I mean, next year I'll probably be more excited when the kids are
here.
you actually give them presents that they're gonna interact with and enjoy. You know,
That will be nice. That will be nice. Yeah. Any parting thoughts?
No, I
the
just
show?
first of all, I really, truly want to thank Jerry for giving us this
The idea in
opportunity
the first
because
place.
I mean, talking about taking you out of the box, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of allowing you to express yourself and putting you in sometimes in difficult situations where you have to go out there and do things that are uncomfortable.
I mean, he believed in us when we didn't know that this was possible.
Yeah, and I think he's helped every single one of us, right?
Become better,
To be a better person, to be a better, be more articulate, and just go out there and say, hey, you know what? This is in the end. This is not. I'm not saying it's not hard, but this is not as hard as I thought. And I can do it. Yeah. And I think it's helped our business. So I thank him and I thank Judah because you're right. I mean,
been here
without
every
Judah, it's like this microphone
almost
would always
every
be
single
far
road.
away, or
Plenty of
who knows?
challenges.
But he's done a lot for us, and of course the viewers that stayed with us and
The whole time, yeah.
Came to our show. Everybody came to our show and made it possible. Like there was a lot of good times, and I want to thank them all.
Oh, same here. Yeah, I said we wouldn't be the same without everyone that commented and always put in there. Big shout out. I know he passed away, but Kevin Higgins was always there for us.
I know.
Which is great comments. God bless him. He was always there. Asking great questions.
Especially
and being
those
there
questions
for
he
us.
used to ask me. That
On the finance topic, he would ask you the tough questions.
And the one we asked me about the 7 reindeer, remember?
Oh, yeah. That was the hardest one he ever asked you. Was the Christmas one.
You gotta be kidding me, right?
Well, yeah, that's one of those things where you know all of them, and then on the spot you're like, oh, I got to come up with them.
Yeah, I never know them.
You knew.
I still don't know. Rudolph.
No, we've had great guests, great people that have come on. We appreciate all our partners through the years that were with us and they came on every month and shared what they did with us and helped make the show possible.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about the partnership, so that was key.
Yeah. No, it's been really good.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. Everything has its season. Obviously, part of the reason it's not that we don't enjoy the show anymore. It's just that business has grown. It's succeeded. We're to have families. We've gotten busier, and so it's time to see what's next, and then who knows, maybe come back.
Yeah,
with the whole
take a
new
break
lineup
and
or
come back.
something.
Absolutely.
Do the legacy edition. The legacy edition.
Sequel, legacy sequel. That's
The
what it's
legacy
called.
sequel.
Legacy
Well, it's
sequel.
always like one of the original good ones, and not like the new
Exactly.
sequel.
We'll be terrible. We'll come back on the show. Be terrible. We'll be old. Everyone's gonna say, "What happened to them?" What happened to the actors? Oh my God, he got old.
He got old. Yeah.
Well, they did was get old. They didn't get better.
No, I want
Well,
to
they'll be like, Judas just as good as always because he's never on the camera. Be like, Judas, great. He's the best part still.
No, I want to be like one of those like really good sequels where you're like, it's like the Lord of the Rings where it's like they did the first one and the next one's like, oh man, that was almost better.
Yeah, but that's not a legacy sequel. It has to
Yeah,
be
that's
like
true. Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
a trilogy.
Have they done anything 20 years later that ended up being good?
You tell me.
Blade Runner 2049 was better. I thought was better than Blade Runner.
Yeah, I guess.
So there's one.
One.
But none of us is Ryan Gosling,
No.
so we'll see how that works out.
That's okay. I'm okay with not being Ryan Gosling. But okay, yeah. So I mean, we'll never know what happens.
Yep.
We'll keep you posted. You can still always. I mean, obviously the Facebook page will still be there. You'll be able to see the shows. Still send us questions, comments. You never know.
Absolutely.
You can still like and subscribe.
Yeah, you can still like, share, and subscribe. It's evergreen content. It'll never go away. You can always find us at Emergent Financial Services. You always know, we're on Old Ivy Road, past the Old Ivy Inn in Old Ivy Way.
That's right.
You can find us in there if you ever want to come by and say hi.
If you want to see our faces again.
Exactly. If you have, for some
missed
reason, the
Xavier's
wish to
face.
see our faces again or to chat with the affable Xavier, just come on by, say hello.
Always. Absolutely. That's a pleasure.
But it's been good. It's been good. Thank you guys. Thanks, Nick, for always finding people for us.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
It's Mike for
I know I
being a
make fun
great
of you all the time. but
co-host.
that's-
Thank you for being the
what I
host.
Yeah,
I've sat in that chair a number of times, and it's so much better when Alex
That's a
is on
piece
that
of cake. That's why I let him do it.
Yes.
That's why you've never. You probably only did it a couple times with him, probably.
I
He
did
did
it once
maybe
with
once with
yeah,
me
with-
before I was like comfortable enough to do
Oh,
it.
okay. And then once
times
the
with
pupil
Nick.
surpassed him,
Yeah.
it was like
That wasn't
bar
hard,
wasn't
yeah.
low
I didn't
on
take
the
long.
No,
Just the bar.
honestly, listen, it was just the opening and closing. I was Xavier. By the time he has to read to our sponsor list,
The opening and
I
closing
forget
takes
him.
the longest to master.
Yeah. The closing's the worst. The opening is
Yeah.
easy. Closing's tough.
Oh, this one won't be too hard.
No.
It'll be emotional, but not hard.
Nah.
Don't start crying, though.
I won't start crying. I won't put the.
Oh, we get one last comment from Rosalia de Rosalia Cordero. You guys look fantastic. Good job.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Leah.
you.
Leah has been watching us from New
the
York
beginning.
and Miami
Miami,
from
yeah.
the beginning.
Yes.
So thank you, Leah, for
Thank you,
always watching us. So we appreciate everyone who's tuned in over the years, everyone that's come on, everyone behind the camera, everyone in front of the camera. So, and then you, all our viewers. So, how we want to close it out, we'll say Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, Bon Natal,
Bon
and how do you say it
Natale,
in German?
Frohe Weihnachten.
There you go, that sounds good.
I like that.
It doesn't even sound like it should be.
But it sounds good enough to
Well,
me.
it sounds
I mean,
like wine to me, and I'm like, I like that.
But Feliz Navidad, Bon Natal, Bon Natale. God bless you all.
yes.
And as we close it out, maybe one last time. Hasta mañana.
Bravo.